This week's edition of the Go&Express newspaper brings you a collection of community news from in and around East London. Our first story is about Meryl Shlokovich, who is an artist, entrepreneur, fitness innovator, wife, mother, and the first Buffalo City native to have been featured for a second series on Survivor SA, which aired its first episode of the new season, Return of the Outcast, on the 18th of July. Our second story explores the skepticism of East Londoners about a 4.3 billion rand investment from Transnet to the port over a 7-year period. On page 2, you will find a review of the latest Guild Theatre production called Moana Jr., directed and choreographed by Sonwa Sakuba, alongside our weekly crossword as well as our What's On guide. On page 3, we spoke to Mr. SA finalist Siya Xegwana about his modelling journey and his participation in the Mr. SA competition. On page 4, you will find the Go Schools page, which features an article about the Buffalo Flats modelling show returning to East London, as well as various images illustrating what children in East London have been up to this week. On page 5, we have an advertising feature of the beauty clinic celebrating 42 years of business. On page 6, in our Go Metro feature this week, we focus on the dilemma of a young boy who has found himself in an unfortunate situation where he often obstructs traffic and causes concern for motorists in the Bonza Bay area. We also look at the Border Historical Society having restored the Cambridge War Memorial in respect to the fallen World War I soldiers. On page 7, we have 4 photos that illustrate that love will always win, with 4 couples celebrating their 50th, 61st, and 71st wedding anniversaries. We also have a little feature about award-winning Mozambican jazz artist Dino Miranda, who will be visiting East London next week. We also have this week's weather and dam level updates. In this week's Go Nature, we also feature entrepreneur Doreen Oliphant, who has managed to turn her talent and knowledge for growing chilies into a hot sauce business that's been a great success within the East London area. We also chat to Monique, who is a health coach and yoga teacher from Buffalo City, about the best ways to use yoga to beat menopause. On page 9, we featured a little insert about a koi show that took place last week, which saw breeders from across Buffalo City showcase their best fish. For Go Food, we chat to Sarah Kleb, who is the owner of Owls and Apple Pies, about the unique and exciting flavors of jam that she makes. On page 10, we have our columnist Charles Benningfield talk about the different wages that tennis players receive across the world. On page 11, we featured the Joy of Books festival that took place last weekend and feature some of the authors and the books that they have written. We also featured a little article about Pello Pepper, the health train, which brings services to the different regions of the Eastern Cape. On our sports page, we chat to water polo star Tumi McDonald about representing South Africa at the senior competition in Budapest. We also chat to Jason Jeggles and Nikita Naidu about winning first place at the World of Dance competition. We also feature the border icons of sport who have, together with the Great Buffalo Flats Sports Federation, teamed up to resuscitate sport across the Buffalo City region through training and workshops for the local administrators.